Hi, Larry Elterman here, and today I'm going to be talking about a great way to stretch out the elastic on your underwear. I don't know about you, but I have a problem buying underwear. If I buy underwear that's the correct size over here, I find that the elastic is too tight. And if I buy underwear where the elastic is not too tight, I find that it's too big over here. So what I want is I want a method where I can stretch out only the elastic. And I don't want to have to sew or tailor. I just want to use heat to stretch out this elastic, and I'm going to show you a great way to do that today, a great method. Before we start, I want to take a measurement of this underwear. Now, this underwear is advertised to be size 36, but as you can see, when I lay it flat, it's only 14 inches. So if you double that, because it's folded, that means that the resting size of the waistband is 28 inches, and yet they advertise as being size 36. So later on, we're going to take another measurement after we apply the method. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is measure how much weight it takes to stretch out the underwear to the advertised size. So this underwear is advertised at 36 inches. So I set up this contraption to pull down the underwear. I put in coins in here and I stretched it out until the final size of this elastic is 17¼ inches. Why 17¼ Because 17¼ and 17¼ is 34½. And then this is 3/4 of an inch and this is 3/4 of an inch. So the total circumference now is exactly 36 inches, the advertised size of this underwear. And we're going to see how much weight it takes to stretch it this far. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is measure the weight, how much weight it took to stretch that underwear to the desired length, the 36 inches that it's advertised at. So you can see here that the weight of the can is 1,392 grams. That's a little over 3 pounds. That means that when you're wearing this underwear, if you're size 36, there's 3 pounds of pressure pushing in on your stomach at all times. Later on, after we apply the method of stretching, I'm going to take this measurement again. The next thing we want to do is we want to put a thumb in one side of the underwear and your other thumb in the other side of the underwear. And you want to stretch this out next to a ruler as far as you can go without feeling like you're going to damage the material. In this case, I'm able to stretch out this underwear 24½ inches. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to make what I call a stretching stick. So you're going to make this out of simple 1x2 wood that you can get pretty much anywhere. So I cut this 1x2 wood to be 24½ inches, just what I showed you when I did the thumb stretch. And then I took this piece of wood, I sanded it down a little bit so it wouldn't damage the underwear. I made it smooth on the corners and just sanded it down a bit. And then here's my finished product, my stretching stick, which can be used over and over again. The next thing you want to do is you want to insert the stretching stick into the underwear. So the underwear is stretched out over the stretching stick, like this. Okay, so here is my setup. I've taken a towel and I put it on the table and I've clamped the towel down so that the towel can't move around. Here's my underwear on the stretching stick. I have a water in a measuring cup so I can pour it easily, and I have my iron, and that's my setup. So let's get started now. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is turn on the iron to full capacity. And as I turn on the iron, you'll see that the light goes on. That light indicates that the iron is heating up. It has not yet achieved full temperature. As long as that light is on, it means that it has not yet achieved full temperature. We're going to wait for this iron to achieve full temperature. In the meantime, I'm going to put water on this band. I'm going to use this measuring cup, and I'm going to pour water on the band. I'm going to pour a good amount of water on this band. I'm going to soak that band. Okay, now that band is soaked. Okay, and now we're going to wait for the light to go off. The light is off, meaning it's achieved full temperature. Now I'm going to take the iron and I'm going to start ironing this. As I start to iron this, there's a lot of steam. And in a little while, you should see the light come back on. You see the light is back on. And the reason the light went back on is because the water on the underpants is cooling down the iron, and so it's not at maximum temperature yet, and so the light is on, indicating that the electricity is on, heating up the iron, but the iron has not yet achieved full temperature. Now I'm going to keep on ironing and ironing and ironing until that light goes off. When that light goes off, it means that most of the water is used up and that the iron has achieved full temperature. Okay, now you see that the light has gone off, meaning that the iron is, most of the water is gone and the iron has achieved full temperature. I'm just going to go for about another 5 seconds or so, and then I'm going to stop. And that side is done. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this to the other side. Be careful you don't burn yourself. Flip it, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So again, I'm going to put the water on here. Okay, like so, lots of water. And I'm going to take my iron. You notice the light is already off. It's achieved full temperature. And I'm going to do the same thing I did before. And I don't have to show you this part. Just take my word for it. I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to wait for the light to go off. You see the light's on now. I'm going to wait for it to go off. And then I will be finished. Okay. So now here is the completed underwear. I've heated both sides, and we're going to take it off and we're going to do the measurements again. And hopefully it will have worked. If it didn't work, you'll never see this video. So let's take this off the stretching stick and let's measure it again. Before, you remember, it was 14 inches. Look at this. It's 17 inches now. So it's gone from 14 inches to 17 inches. Okay? And now we're going to do the other test where we see how much weight it takes to stretch it out to the full 36 inches. Okay, so once again, I've set up my stretching device and I put coins in here until it reached a length of 17¼ inches, exactly what it was before. And now I'm going to measure the weight in the can just like I did before. Okay, here we are taking the measurement again, and you can see now it's only 308 grams. Before it was 1,392 grams. 1,392 grams was a little over 3 pounds of pressure. This is only 0.67 pounds of pressure. So the pressure around your waist is greatly reduced. So as you can see, the method worked fantastic. Okay, before I finish up, I want to talk about a couple of other things. In one article I read, they suggested that you should put some kind of cloth over the underpants so that the iron isn't directly on the underpants. And in this picture I show the stretching stick inside a t-shirt. And in this case you would wet the t-shirt and then you would iron the t-shirt and the underpants would be underneath. And this is probably more safe, less likely to damage the underpants, but I'm not sure it would be as effective. But you can try this if you're afraid of damaging the underpants. But if you put enough water on the underpants, the band, and you only iron until the water disappears, until the steam stops, I think you should be okay. Now, there's a number of things you can vary to vary the amount of stretch. You can vary how big the stretching stick is and how far it stretches it. You can vary how long you iron it, and you can vary the heat of the iron. So you can experiment around a little bit to try to get the exact results. Of course, if you do something that damages the underwear, you're out of luck and you've wasted money. So I guess it's better to start slowly, less heat and less stretching for less amount of time. And then if that's not enough, you can always do it again. But the method I showed you worked for me. As I showed you, it worked perfect for me. It's up to you if you want to use the method exactly as I showed you, or whether you want to start at a slower pace and work your way up. So I hope this helps you, and I hope this method works for you. And happy underwear wearing. This is Larry Elterman signing off.